Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to manifest your SP back and flip the script. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from a subscriber who said, Tom, I've been focused on manifesting my SP back into my life. And I feel like it's starting to happen. We've had a few dates, but here's the thing. Every time we get together, something happens which leads me to believe that she's going to hurt me again. There's certain things that happen when we're together that just gives me the feeling that she's going to hurt me. And I just don't know how to get past that. I was wondering if you could unpack that. Well, guys, we're going to unpack this today and more. Here's what I want to say. And it's big. It comes from a movie called Solaris. And I'll unpack this a little bit more, but it's powerful. It's a metaphysical movie. But the main character in this is talking about his ex-wife who committed suicide and that he feels very guilty about this, right? And here's what he says when he has the realization. He says, I remembered her wrong. And somehow I was wrong about everything. Hear this. You're remembering her wrong. You're remembering her through the past, through your past memories, through those past experiences. You're not seeing her in the now. So what you're streaming in consciousness, what you're perceiving, what you're creating is from those past beliefs, from those past programs, right? From those past thoughts, from those false limiting thoughts. You're not seeing her from the fresh moment of now. You're remembering her wrong. This is powerful because when you turn this around and you start seeing her through that light of now, through that power of now, you're going to see a whole different person, right? You're going to see what's going on, what's really going on, right? It's your limited perception that's going on. So in this movie, Solaris is a planet, and there's a space station that's circling or getting closer to this planet, Solaris, and this planet is all light. Hear this, right? And we know what light represents, right? That represents oneness, that represents God. But Dr. Chris Kelvin said this in reference to his ex-wife who committed suicide. They got in a fight. She told him that she had got pregnant and had an abortion without telling him. And he just blew up and walked out. And of course, she had a history of having sort of struggling, right, with depression and so forth. So she commits suicide. He never really gets over this, right? He feels the guilt and the remorse, and it never uncovers it. Well, on this space station, there's something weird going on, right? And the people on the space station are disappearing. And the ones that are left can't even explain what's going on. They said, you've got to come here. And Chris is a doctor. He's a psychiatrist or psychologist. He's a psychologist. So they want him to come to figure this out, right? But what's really going on here on Solaris is that as they get on the space station, as they get closer to that light, as they get closer to that planet, Solaris, that it causes the people on the space station for their subconscious beliefs to manifest immediately. Hear this. So what's coming up, they have to deal with any limiting thoughts or any limiting beliefs they have, right? And this is what happens when Dr. Chris Kelvin goes there, right? He manifests his ex-wife, Rhea, who died of suicide, right? She appears. Right? And the first time she appears, he puts her in a space pod and ejects her into space. He was so scared, right? That's the first thing. We get fearful when these old things come up, right? But then when she comes up again, he starts wanting her to stay, wants her back, right? But she can't stay because he hasn't healed yet, or he hasn't dropped or moved beyond those beliefs, right? So the planet Solaris represents God, a consciousness, that divine light, love, that oneness, all there is. When you put those beliefs, right, that you have to consciousness, when you bring them up to awareness, they can't stand in that light. You must now release them. That's what healing is, right? Healing on any level is releasing those bogus, false limiting beliefs that you have. That's what healing is, right? The bizarre events that are happening on the space station are manifestations or projections of unhealed thoughts in the minds of the crew members. And there's a lot of other bizarre things that went on, but I want to focus on this because this is perfect for your situation, right? Unhealed just means they're not brought to your conscious awareness yet. They're not brought to that light. That's what Solaris does, right? That's what Solaris represents, right? And so you heal. To heal is to release that false or limiting belief about you or others, or essentially about reality, or even about your manifestations or what you can have. That's powerful. Let's unpack this a little bit more. So Jesus said it, right? I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. That's what Jesus was saying. That light is that oneness. That's your awareness. That's who you truly are, right? And so you can't get beyond the limiting and false beliefs unless you bring them to awareness. That's why your manifestations are held up. That's why your desires are not coming, right? God or light is changeless in eternal love. Think of it this way. We talked about the idea of the movie projector and that the movie, comparing life to a movie. Well, I want to hit this at a different angle today. Think of it this way. Think of the images. Think of your thoughts or beliefs are images, right? Those are images in your mind, and you have images of past thoughts and beliefs. All beliefs are past, right? They're based on past experiences, past events that get stuffed away into our unconscious or our subconscious mind, right? The image of those thoughts or beliefs represent the film on the film roll, right? The projector represents your conscious mind, right? And the light, right here, the light that goes through it and projects that image is the light of your being. It's your awareness, it's your consciousness, it's the oneness, it's God consciousness. Right? So think of this. You have these images, these past images, these bogus beliefs of your SP that you have on the film reel and that you're projecting through your subconscious mind. Remember, it's all one mind. Your subconscious mind is your individualized area of that greater subconscious of God. Right, that greater light. It's your individualized area, right? And in that individualized area, in that projector, you're projecting through these old beliefs and thoughts. It could be about anything, right? And then you project them as conditions or events on the screen, right? These are the projected images. And then we try to make the changes here. We look at these and say something is wrong. Something's wrong. She's going to hurt me again. I can see these projected images and it indicates that she's going to hurt me. Well, guys, that's coming from your past, right? Those are past images. You're projecting them on the 3D screen. Remember, the screen is the 3D world of space and time, right? The screen. The images that are reflected are the events and conditions that you're projecting, right? So we try to change the projected image directly, right? You want to change her directly. In these 2 dates, you're not seeing what you want. So you want to change that image. That's not where you can change it, right? Also, you can't change the projector. You can't change your subconscious mind, but you can change what's in. You can change the context of it. Right here, this, right? Also, you can't change the light. Who would want to? It's the light of God. What can you change then? You can change the film roll. If you want to show a different picture, you've got to change your thoughts and beliefs. You've got to change the film roll. Leave the projector alone. Leave the light alone. Leave the projected image alone. That's just effects of the consciousness, right? Change the image of your thoughts and beliefs. See her through that unfiltered light. Hear this, right? The light of that awareness through the present moment. Right? When you're not creating these images or projecting from these false beliefs of this old film roll, right? Or this old film roll, then you're projecting, you're seeing her in the moment, you're seeing her in the light of the present moment. That is powerful. So let's unpack it a little bit more. To change the image on the screen of 3D space and time, you need to change the film roll or your images you hold in your mind with your thoughts and beliefs. You're holding old images of your SP. Release those, right? See her through that light. See her through that present moment. Solaris as that oneness, right? Solaris is that eternal light. Reflects back to you your conscious thoughts and beliefs that are blocking your awareness of the light within. That's why that character played by George Clooney, Chris Kelvin, said I've been thinking about her wrong, right? I remember her wrong. Right, and I remember everything wrong. Everything's wrong. Everything's wrong when you're thinking from the past. You're not thinking from the present moment, right? They immediately manifest in the movie, not effects of linear time. So on this space station, those subconscious thoughts are manifest immediately as soon as Chris got to the space station, right, and fell asleep. His ex-wife manifested, the one who committed suicide, the one who's no longer, she manifested, she shows up immediately. That is what we're talking about here, right, when there's no linear time, right? That's what would happen. But because there's space and linear time between these things, we don't attribute it. We don't get at the cause. The cause is that film roll. The cause are those images and those old beliefs and those old programs, right? Those old thoughts that you're thinking, right? When you release or heal the false belief or cause in your mind, you release the effects of any pain and suffering. And that's what happened as Chris got more and more into this, right? As he released it, right? And he even decided that he could have gone back to Earth, but he turned around and stayed in the space station that was getting closer to the light. He chose the light and not the 3D world. A great movie if you want to see this, right? And so you release or heal the false beliefs or cause in your mind, you release the effects of any pain or suffering. You've got to release those, right? And then you're releasing the cause. Then you'll see her through that new light, right? So in A Course in Miracles, is a very powerful line from A Course in Miracles. When you want only love, you see nothing else. Right? So instead of seeing her through those bogus old beliefs, those old experiences, those old limiting thoughts, see her through love. When you want only that, you'll see nothing else. You'll only see love, right? The answer to manifesting your desires, to getting your SP back, to happiness, to anything else that you want in the 3D world is never found out there on the screen of 3D, right? As we showed the projector. It's never out there, right? It's an experience within you, right? It's experience within as you bring to awareness, as you question your limiting and false beliefs. That's really what true forgiveness is, right? That it never happened, that's your partial perception of what you think, of what's going on in your mind. You create that through your partial view, right? We don't have the broader perspective of that oneness, of that light, like Solaris. Right? We don't have that broader perspective that knows all that is, right? Let go of the old concepts of yourself and become the new version, right? Rest in the fulfillment of your wish and desires. Surrender the unreal for what is real, right? What's real is the present moment. See your SP through the present moment, right? So I remembered her wrong. Right? And he felt that he remembered everything wrong, right? Everything's wrong. Past thoughts recycled, limited and false perceptions of reality. That's how we operate most of the time, in the past, right? Remember, you're looking at the past when you walk around in 3D reality. It's all the past, right? So Chris decides not to go back to Earth. He chooses the light of Solaris. Oneness, God consciousness, righteous thought without judgment of the 3D world. And so then a very powerful ending. At the beginning of the movie, they show Chris chopping some vegetables and he cuts himself. This is an important scene because he starts bleeding and he puts his finger under the water. Then at the end of the movie, as Chris forgives those false beliefs, those false perceptions, as he lets those go, as he sees the light of Solaris, as those old thoughts and old beliefs, unconscious beliefs are brought to the surface and he releases them, then he's in the kitchen again, his same house. It shows him flashing back. Remember, he didn't go back to Earth, but they're showing him back in his apartment or in his house on Earth or what looks like Earth. Hear this, what looks like Earth. And then he cuts himself and immediately it heals. He doesn't have to put it underwater. It shows the healing. right? And then then he looks and he sees his ex-wife, Rhea, and he says to her, "Am I alive or dead?" And what does she say? "We don't have to think like that anymore." Wow! Hear this ending, right? Clearly he's in the light now. He's now one with Rhea. It doesn't matter if you're alive or dead. There is no death. Right? Wow, what about, am I alive or dead? We don't have to think like that anymore. That's what's going on. That's why we're dead in the 3D world when we're thinking from the past. When we're thinking from dead thoughts and dead beliefs, we're dead. That's what Jesus said, to be reborn. It's to be reborn in that higher state of consciousness. Right? You can be reborn now. You don't have to wait for the transition. You can do it now, right? You don't have to think like that anymore. How powerful is that, right? You awaken when you really get it, that you get to choose how you think, feel, and believe. That is how to manifest your SP back. That is how to flip the script. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen, our website at tomkaren.com or BeSomethingWonderful.com, or write me anytime. I'd love to hear from you at info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. Guys, I just want to comment that a few of you on the channel have requested some videos, some short, powerful videos on the basics of the law of assumption, on manifesting your desires, on creating your own reality. And I just got to say, there's a lot already on the channel, especially the early videos, and some just a few months ago. But I am happy and delighted to revisit this. So in some future videos, I am going to be doing some special ones that are shorter, tighter, and very powerful, talking about the techniques, breaking down the basics, and as always, with a big insight. Okay, guys, so until next time, this is Tom with great love. See you soon.